This episode is brought to you by the bag of t-shirts I found in my basement. Hi everyone, and welcome to My Pink Bathtub. My name is Diane, and this episode is a continuation of my craft room organization cleanup. I'm going to share with you today what my craft room is currently looking like, what else I've done to organize my craft room, how my yarn sale went in the end, because it's all gone now. There's nothing left in my house of what was for sale. And I'm going to share with you a few finished projects and some projects I'm currently working on. So grab yourself a drink, get comfy, and let's chit chat. In the big clean sweep that I did of collecting items for my yarn yard sale. Now, if you haven't seen that, it is the previous episode to this, and I'll put a link in the description field below about that episode. I grabbed a bag, which I thought was fabric because my mother was a very avid sewer. And I just brought it upstairs with other items that I wanted to put in my yard sale. And I discovered that they were actually t-shirts of my 40th birthday party. I had a bag full. So we're going to be doing a little bit of share costume changing throughout this episode because I washed all the t-shirts and I want to see which ones fit me and which ones don't. And I'm probably just going to keep them for around the house shirts. So this is shirt number 1. The 40th birthday party was in 2008, so that was a bit of a while ago. Brand new shirts though that have never been worn. Every guest received a shirt upon entry. I couldn't find a photo, but there is a photo of a big group of us wearing our shirts, and it was a parting gift to them. Unfortunately, one was spotted in a thrift store later on, and my friend took a photo of it to show me. These shirts are great. So let's start with where we left off, which was at my yard sale. The time of the yard sale in general, I would like $230 or something I had sold. But I've had 5 different people come and buy some yarn. And the grand total of all the yarn that I sold and items that I sold is $373. After the last visit, I scooped everything up, put them in bags and boxes, and took my car straight to the thrift store and donated the rest of my items to our local thrift store. The fun thing about this was I got to meet some new people along the way, which was really great. And I am even doing a swap with an artist. So I'm super excited about all this that I can share with you. One of the ladies who came to purchase my yarn after the yard sale had ended was a local resident in our town, which is around 5 or 6 kilometers away from here. And she is a member of the crafting group in town, which is put on at, I believe it's like called the Senior Center. So I was asking her questions about that. They meet every Wednesday at 1 p.m. for a couple hours, and they just bring whatever craft they're working on. So I decided I was going to go this week. And I mean, I'm not super outgoing. I am one of those people that's really great one-on-one, but I don't go and work the room. I'm just not like that. And for me to go out and just say, hi, I'm here, and not know anyone is, that's a big thing for me. Well, when I walked in, everybody was like, are you the yarn lady? I think so. That night, 2 more of the ladies came and bought a whole bunch of stuff from me as well. Now, of course, I was incredibly generous. They were getting like 2 big bags of yarn for like $30 or $40. They were getting a deal, and they were very happy with everything. So between them and another person, and then Alice came. She even took some of the extra yarn I had, and we put them in 2 bags, and she was going to donate them to a thrift store in the city. And then the rest of the things, like the stuff that was on the tables that nobody looked at, I kind of went through it all again and kept a couple things, but the majority of that went to my local thrift store that is close to me. So I'm really happy to say that it's all gone. And I have just been in the organizing mood ever since. This one's a big shirt, so I think it's going to be really good for like painting and doing that kind of stuff around the yard. It's very big. So I was just geared up about getting stuff organized. Like, I'm like, yes, I have so many extra bins and stuff that are emptied now. And the next thing I worked on was organizing all of my papered patterns, because I can never find anything. I can't find anything. They're all over the place. So I literally took everything from some old binders that I had with patterns from when I was knitting like 15 plus years ago, to things that were around my craft room, things that were in bins, and I sat down one night on the floor and I organized all of them. I think I probably need to buy one binder still, but right now everything is organized. So I have this little, what do you call this? So I have all my sock patterns in here. Then all of my garments are in this binder. I also found in the basement when I was getting ready for my markets that I had a lot of these sleeves, these plastic sleeves. So that was great. And I even had some dividers. So I have a binder for garments. I have one for household. So this one includes things like blankets, like felted items, holidays, like a few patterns for Christmas decorations, some stuff for my Ken doll. Look at this pattern. Fancy sweaters for Ken, and even for a couple of doggy sweaters. So that's my second binder. I know, look at me go. I had so many duplicates of these patterns printed out because honestly I couldn't find them, so we printed them. Got rid of all those. Then I have a hats and a mittens binder because I like to make mittens. Yes, and so I also have scarves in here as well. So just super duper organized. I probably need to buy a 2-inch binder, but I might leave it in this bin. This bin here is full of toy patterns. Cute ones, very, very cute ones that I have yet to try. I want to make this Dawson's. Here's one from Susan B. Anderson I haven't made yet. They're like little swaddling things like pigs in the blanket and stuff. Those would be cute too. So these are all of my paper patterns put together. And now let's go upstairs and take a look at my craft room. Now it's not 100% done, and I should have taken a much better video of a before, but I don't have one. If you're a longtime viewer, you would have seen my craft room in the past, but let me tell you, there was tons of bins all over the floor and not a lot of floor space to walk through because it was kind of a catch-all throw stuff in room. Here's where we're at now with my craft room. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the floor of my craft room. Over here, I probably had bins stacked up 3 high of yarn. That's all been sold. It's all been gone through and sold. Isn't this a cute little crocheted owl basket? Now this has yarn in it to make box stools. So I know what I'm doing with that. That's for my craft markets. And if we kind of come over here where we walked in, I have 2 other bins full of items. That is market knitting yarn. So that's my first priority. Bin, that gray bin on the floor as well as market knitting yarn. But look at this, you guys. I even put a bunting up because I was so excited. I was like, let's have a party. It's very organized for me, very organized. Here is the other side. All of my high-end yarns, like 100% wool and hand-dyed yarns, are bagged up. They could go through a bit of a better organization, but I put all of the acrylic yarns in cubbies, like they're not even full. At the bottom of this dresser, I have 2 bins that slide under. They have projects in them that have the patterns with them, so they're all ready to go. And this one too is specific yarn for projects. My next job is to tackle this because this is obviously a mess. This antique dresser has nothing in it. I basically need to take the 3 drawers out, go through everything in the top. I need to organize my buttons, and I will put them in the drawers in little bins. And then I need to organize this better. Go through these bins. I want to put all of my patterns that I showed you earlier that are in binders on the bottom shelf with the books that I use all the time, and I guess I'm probably going to put my other books in another location. But I think it's going very well. I am going to take a break from it right now, and when it's completely done, I will report back. Not bad, eh? Oh, if I failed to mention, I am coming to you from Canada. I live in the center of Canada in the province of Manitoba. And yeah, that's where I'm from, if I failed to mention. Not only was it great to like rehome some yarn that I personally wasn't going to use, to clear up my space, to get things organized, that I know where everything is. But I also got to meet some really neat people this week, which was fantastic for me. I got to meet some people in the community, and I definitely will go back to that craft group again. And I've also kind of met someone else online who is a maker, and she's going to be at the Manitoba Fiber Festival this fall selling her wares, and I want to do a shout out to her because her and I have kind of done a swap. She had reached out and asked me about the crafting hoops, the quilt hoops that were on my table when she watched my last video. And those were my mom's. My mom has passed away 15 years ago. I'm never going to use them. And I looked at her Instagram, and she does beautiful, beautiful embroidery work of animals. And she puts them on embroidery hoops. So I went through my cross-stitch stash that I have in the basement, and I have a lot of stuff from my mom as well. We came up with a deal to do a swap. She's going to get some fabric from me and a whole bunch of embroidery hoops, and she will be making me a fox. And here's a photo of what her jumping foxes look like. And she's going to be putting it in one of the hoops that I'm giving her. So I'm super excited about that. I'll be getting it when I go to the Manitoba Fiber Fest in September. And I'll show you her booth and everything like that. But I'm going to put her Instagram below, Nuland Crafts. She does beautiful, beautiful work. I highly recommend. And another person I would not have met if I had not done my yarn yard sale. As I was in the bins in the basement looking at all of my cross-stitch stuff, I came across something I made a while ago. Pre-hubs, actually. And I framed it, and I'm going to hang it in our house because it's really cute. Put the picture up here just to have a better view of it. In case you didn't know, I'm the cute chick in this situation. This is made on a linen cloth. It's a cross stitch. I like it. Are you keeping track of how many t-shirts I have? Okay, let's talk about works in progress, then we will talk about finished objects, and then we'll get on with our day. I don't feel like I got a lot of knitting done this week just because I was really kind of sidetracked with the yarn sale and having people come to my house. I did reconnect with a dear friend this week, and we went out for lunch. You know who you are. And I going to the crafting thing, and then Alice came over on Thursday. It's been a busy week. I'm a little peopled out at this point, I'm not gonna lie. So one thing I'm working on, and I didn't work on it at all, but I'll just show you if you're new, hello, is this baby car seat blanket from Maxim. And this is one of those using up all my yarn situations. I'm using the Vanna's Choice yarn. It is called Denim Mist. And I should have just enough to finish this, and I haven't done anything with it, but here it is. This is going to be going to a maker I know who I'm going to see not until October. The baby's coming sometime this month. So I have lots of time to do it. I just need to get on it and work on it. But what took up all my time was my socks. My socks for my sock of the month with my friend Alice, Socksy Nana Alice. Now, if you recall, I pulled this color, and I was going to possibly do the heels of the socks and the toes of the sock with this color. Well, and that's what I did. This yarn is from Celtic Raven Fibers. It is called Snow Dyed, and this is what it looked like with that purple heel, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't think the purple went, and I had already done the entire heel, and now I was on the foot, just like I decreased all the stitches in the heel, and I was just doing the straight knitting, and I did not like it. So I made the executive decision to pull it back and just knit it with the yarn without any other color, because it's, it's a busy enough yarn, and I'm not disappointed at all. So I'm still on my first sock. We're not doing too good about the socks over here, but this is what it looks like. I'm glad I pulled it back because I just did not like that purple heel in this. If it was exactly one of the colors, it would have been better, but it was much brighter. It just didn't go. This took me a bit longer than I expected, and those are the two works in progress. Of course, I'm knitting mittens all the time, and I have some mittens to share with you as my finished objects this week. Okay, finished objects. Now, if you're new here, hello. I am a maker, and I sell my markets. I sell my knitting at markets. I should have told you this in my finished objects portion, and I'm not going to go back and change the shirt again because this is shirt number 7. I was knitting. I brought for the knit club, for the crafting club this week on Wednesdays, I brought just a pair of mittens to knit because I can knit and not look when it comes to making mittens. And so I had made one at home. This is actually the one mitten I made during the yard sale. And I thought, well, I'll knit its companion at the crafting club, and then I'll just finish it. It'll be another pair of mittens. Well, I guess I was a little nervous going there, meeting new people, and a little excited that I ended up knitting 2 of the same left-hand mittens here. So now I got to make 2 righties, which is okay. I have enough yarn, but this has only happened to me one other time. And yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy chatting. So I guess this is kind of a finished object, but not really, because they're both lefties. On with the show. I am trying a new pattern. I had one hank of green yarn that I made mittens with, and I thought, well, I want to make them into frogs. This is a bit of an experiment. I just finished one of them before I started filming, and I would like your feedback because this is what I came up with. See, this is supposed to be a tongue in case you didn't know. I don't know how much it looks like a frog. I think the eyes look really good. Kind of see they stick out a bit. So I don't know, what do you think? This is going to be a one-off. If people want to call it a lizard or a snake, I'm not going to be upset about it. But if you think it looks pretty good, I think I make some kid-size mittens, because this is an adult size. I was trying to summon Kermit the Frog years ago, and my friend who I went for lunch with this week will remember. I went to Kermit as Kermit the Frog, reporting for Sesame Street for Halloween one year, and I wore her father's trench coat. True story. But the rest of the mittens I have completely finished, and I'm going to share them with you now. I have 2 pairs of toddler mittens. I don't know if I showed you this last time, so I'm just showing you again. And I found during the craft room cleanup, I found a partial ball of acrylic yarn. Here it is. And I thought, well, I'm going to make some mittens with it. So I made a youth size of foxes. And this fits usually up to a 4-year-old, 2 to 4-year-old. Comes with mitten clips. This one, the cuff you can turn up. You can kind of grow into it. So I call this just a youth size, but you know, a 7 to 8-year-old. And then also small woman's hand size as well. Here's again what the doggy mittens look like that I finished, that are going to be these guys. And I was experimenting with some other yarns. I used 2 buttons to make the eyes pop out a little bit better. And then I made 2 more youth size mittens. I've been going through my buttons, and that's another thing that I need to completely organize is my buttons. That'll probably be my next thing before I clean up all the other accessories, because they're everywhere. I found these beautiful iridescent buttons. So this is another youth small lady size. And then I did a pair in a pale gray for cats. And Kathy, if you're watching, this is the yarn you sent me. So those are all of my finished objects for this week. I haven't, as I mentioned, done a lot just because it's, you know, it's all been about organizing my yarn room. I'm going to go inside and work on my sock. I really want to finish at least 1 sock this week. And then I'm going to work on my button organization with my safety eyes, get those all organized. And then we're going to get those 2 little dressers and small shelving unit all organized. So next time I can show you the complete finished craft room where I can find everything, and the world is a wonderful place, and I don't spend half an hour looking for a pattern. It's going to be good. I am so happy that I did this. Thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, my friends, be well and bye for now.